Tonight, one day after a local state rep says he won't run for another term, a Peoria city councilman announces his candidacy for the seat. Plus, how those protecting people in central Illinois learn what they need to know to keep us safe.
The Cubs are gonna win today! Cubs gonna win tonight! Cardinals! Oh yeah, can I get it?
And a school divided who these kids are cheering for in tonight's Cubs-Cards showdown. As one man announces his retirement, another steps forward to fill the post. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Maria Chandler has the night off. Peoria Councilman Ryan Spain says he's running for the 73rd District House seat. It's our top story tonight at 6. The announcement comes one day after Representative David Leach said he is not running for re-election. Leach was there as Spain declared his candidacy in front of friends, family, and supporters. The councilman says the biggest issues facing the state include workers' compensation, tort reform, and the state's pension system. He says he wants to tweak the system to save the state some money.
If you look at a city like Peoria, where 90% of our property tax bill is going to public employee pensions, it's not a sustainable solution.
The primary election set for March 15th of next year, with the general election in November. Peoria County Board member Brian Elsasser says he's thinking about throwing his name in, too. There's increasing drama on Capitol Hill as Republicans struggle to find a new House Speaker. The top candidate abruptly stepped aside Thursday, causing chaos and a hastily called meeting this morning to plot a pathway forward. As Craig Boswell reports, the pressure is building on a possible candidate who has said publicly he's not interested.
Didn't feel like chaos today, but, you know, there's always tomorrow.
One by one, Republicans emerged from a closed-door meeting with few answers on who will become the next House Speaker.
Who can get 218 votes?
I don't know. We'll see.
One name was consistently the topic of conversation: Paul Ryan.
I think Paul Ryan right now has the clout, he has the stature that he could overcome a lot, he could bring sides together.
For now, Jason Chaffetz of Utah and Florida's Daniel Webster remain the only declared candidates. Both are closely watching to see what Ryan does.
I'm not challenging him, I'm challenging the process here. And I'm going to make that point until hopefully we get some change.
I'd absolutely back Paul Ryan. Part of the reason I got in the race is Paul Ryan's not doing it.
Ryan insists he's not interested.
Right now I'm just going to catch my flight so I can make it home for dinner.
Leaving the question, who is?
You want the job? No. Does anybody? We'll find out. It boils down to numbers. To get the job, it takes 218 votes. That will have to include a group of about 40 hard-right conservatives who call themselves the Freedom Caucus.
Until we find out who else is running and interested and we interview the candidates, we're really staying non-committal at this time.
Outgoing House Speaker John Boehner wants a decision by the end of the month. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Congressman Fred Upton tells CBS News Ryan's former running mate Mitt Romney called the Wisconsin congressman to urge him to run for Speaker of the House. A former Bloomington police officer no longer facing felony charges. A McLean County jury acquitted Brent Van Hovelen last night. He faced forgery and official misconduct charges after being accused of falsifying tickets. The state's attorney's office argued Van Hovelen had turned them in to get credit, but had never actually given them to any drivers. Walking into a burning home, smoke everywhere you can't see. It's hard to imagine, but it's something firefighters do every day. Their work extends beyond that, from medical calls to special rescues, all to keep us safe. WMBD's Alyssa Paldo suited up and got a taste of what it's like to be a firefighter at the Peoria Fire Training Academy.
It's more than just putting water on fire.
Much more than that. I spent a day in a firefighter's shoes or boots. It started in the classroom for training, the most important step to becoming a firefighter.
Our firefighters are very, very highly trained. They continue with that training on a daily basis.
Do you have any cardiac problems, any heart problems?
After my briefing, we got a medical call. Peoria Fire Department says nearly 80% of calls they get are for medical assistance. Peoria firefighters are able to do much of what can be done in an emergency room, from IVs to EKGs before a patient gets to the hospital. When every second counts, this increases the chances a life will be saved. Next, we suited up and we're off to save people in a car crash. Using the jaws of life and spreaders, firefighters can rip through metal to free someone who's trapped. The process is much harder than it looks. Flames filled the fire tower and had us crawling through smoke-filled hallways, a realistic look at fighting a fire. I might not have caught on to the tricks of the trade, but what I did learn very quickly is a new appreciation for all that our firefighters do to keep us safe. At Peoria Fire Training Academy, Alyssa Paldo, WMBD News.
The Peoria Fire Department also has a dive and hazmat team. Lau says the training center allows them to practice and learn more of these life-saving measures. The state will no longer pay for free STD screenings, but you can't blame it on the budget mess. The Department of Public Health says it's shifting costs for the screenings to counties. Last year, it cost the state more than $10 million to pay for them. The move will not affect health departments in Peoria, McLean, or Tazewell counties. The Woodford County Health Department will see an impact. It will mean changes in more than 100 jails, other health departments, and family planning programs. The days are numbered for one of Bloomington Normal's food pantries. The Claire House founder and director has decided to retire, so the pantry will close after its traditional pre-Thanksgiving food distribution November 25th. The Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen, which is a part of Claire House, will serve its last meal at St. Mary's Church November 24th. The Claire House and its dozens of volunteers have been helping the community for nearly 40 years. The South Side could be getting a new store. Peoria's Zoning Board of Appeals gave its okay for a Dollar General to be built across from the old Aldi store on Western Avenue. First District City Councilwoman Denise Moore has been pushing for another store in the area, dubbed a food desert. Moore thinks it's a positive sign for the community.
They're ready to go. They're excited about it, and we're excited to have it here. It's been a long time since something like this has opened on Western, and it really signals to people that Western is coming back to life.
The Site Plan Review Board will need to give its approval for the store next. The historic matchup between Cubs and Cards is underway. First pitch thrown about 20 minutes ago. Here in Central Illinois, it's hard to tell which team has the bigger fan base. WMBD's Hannah Hilliard joins us now to help sort it out. Hannah?
Well, Paul, both teams have made us Central Illinois proud, but only one team can win it all. And today at Dunlap Grade School, it was hard to tell which team wants it more. Well, Central Illinois is pretty much at the epicenter of Cubs and Cards Nation, making for a lot of divided households and schools. Cardinal Red and Cubby Blue were in full force at DGS today, and so was the trash talking. But the teachers are turning the rivalry into a bit of a life lesson: sportsmanship.
Even though we're split and we're divided, we've come together and we've decided that the best team is going to win.
Well, to get a grasp on which team has the bigger fan base here in Central Illinois, we asked the question on our Facebook page, and it looks like the Cubs have won this matchup. Of course, they have already had one win playoff game, beating the Pittsburgh Pirates on Wild Card Wednesday. Paul?
Thanks, Hannah. Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey is now paying for his bet with Illinois Senator Mark Kirk over that Cubs-Pirates wild card game, which, of course, the Cubs won 4-0. Now, here he is in Cubby Blue. The two agreed the loser had to wear the opposing team's shirt and show it off through social media. Toomey also had to send some Iron City beer and Pierogi Plus to his fellow U.S. Senator. Still ahead, the new businesses soon accepting Apple Pay when you're dining out. Plus, celebrating 75 years, how the USDA is commemorating decades of work. And live from Fieldcrest, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates will break down our Game Day Live forecast.
You're watching WMBD News at 6.